Good Monday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to the Cruise News. We're going to start off today talking about Princess Cruise Lines. Now, they have announced they are adding some new table service options, some main dining room options. Now, they have already tested this out on the Sun Princess. It has received very favorable feedback, and they're going to be rolling it out ship-wide. So the way this is going to work is one of the main dining rooms will be your traditional dining service, an early seating and a late seating. A second of the main dining rooms is going to be reservable, so you can reserve the time you want to go sit down and eat. And the third dining room is going to be for walk-ins. Just, you're hungry, you're ready for dinner, head down to the main dining room and get yourself a table. Now, this goes into effect today, April the 15th, but passengers are not going to see this change until sailings starting on September the 14th and beyond. This gives them time to implement the new system, transition over to the new main dining options. Now, for guests that have main dining room choices already made between now and September the 14th, you will not see any change. But for any guests that have them from September the 14th and beyond, so after September the 14th, all of those main dining options will be canceled. Then beginning June 17th, those sailing after September the 14th will see the options in the app. And at that time, we'll be able to pick their dining option. Now, this is only for the main dining room. So if you are in specialty restaurants or in one of the restaurants designated for suites, you will not see any changes there. This is only for the main dining rooms on board the ships. And this will give cruisers more flexibility with their dining options. But what do you guys think? Good idea from Princess Cruise Lines? Not a good idea? Did you like it the way it was? Or are you simply happy that you'll have more opportunities, choices to actually go sit down and eat in the main dining room when you are hungry? Next up, we have authorities in Spain. Now, they have begun deporting over 60 different cruise passengers over what they're calling a fake visa scam. Now, this began a little over 10 days ago on the MSC Armonia when she arrived in Spain. Now, at that time, the Spanish officials, they said, hey, some of these visas, they don't look right, and were even reported as being crude fakes. But this caused the cruise ship to actually be held there in port for 2 days, the cancellation of other port stops there in the Mediterranean, and the follow-on cruise was also canceled over this 2-day delay. Before these 60 Bolivians, they were taken off of the MSC ship, held there in Spain, and then the Armonia was finally able to depart. Now, MSC, they deny any wrongdoing. They said these visas, they were checked in Brazil, they look good, they look authentic, they allowed these passengers to board. But like I said, they got to Spain, and the police officials there in Spain are saying, you know what, these are pretty crude fakes. And now the end result is these 60 passengers, they have been deported. They are on their way back home, and they're being flown home at the expense of MSC. So MSC is paying for them to get back home. And believe me, this incident will be investigated further because there's still questions to be answered. Did these 60 people knowingly get fake visas? Were they simply trying to enter into another country and disappear into another country? Were they scammed into getting fake visas in order to take this cruise? These are questions that will still have to be answered. But if you're taking a cruise and you have to get any kind of ID, whether it's passport, visas, anything like that, always make sure you get that from a reputable source. Make sure you get that from an actual government agency that is allowed to issue those types of documents. That way you don't board a cruise ship expecting to have a great cruise vacation only to find yourself deported before your cruise is even over. And finally, we have a very tragic story coming out of Hawaii. We have several passengers injured. One passenger has passed away after a shuttle bus accident there in the port of Honolulu. So this past Friday morning at Pier Number 2 in Honolulu, the Carnival Miracle had docked. Passengers were getting off the ship, ready to go enjoy their day in Honolulu. The shuttle buses were coming to pick them up. And when one of the shuttle buses came in, something didn't happen right, and the shuttle bus was actually still moving a little bit, like perhaps the parking brake wasn't set, something like that. They told the driver, hey, the shuttle bus is still moving. He hopped in the driver's seat. However, instead of stepping on the brake pedal to stop the bus, he accidentally stepped on the gas pedal. Now, this caused the bus to, of course, move forward, hit a group of pedestrians, injured several of the cruise passengers, and unfortunately also took the life of a 68-year-old woman from Illinois. Now, Carnival Cruise Lines has confirmed the incident and did put out the following statement. 9 Carnival Miracle guests were hit by a shuttle bus in the transportation area outside the Honolulu Cruise Terminal on Friday morning, April the 12th. Sadly, one guest has died from her injuries. She was traveling with her husband, who was also injured and is expected to recover. Members of the Carnival care team are assisting the guests. Our thoughts are with the guests affected and their loved ones. Of those guests, 4 of them were transported to the hospital, 1 in critical condition. The remainder of the guests were treated there on site and declined to go on to the hospital. These are definitely not the types of cruise stories we like to report. This is a tragic event, and our thoughts and our prayers go out to the family and friends of those affected by this terrible accident. And that's going to be your cruise news for this Monday. Hope everyone out there has a really great day, has a really great weekend. Like always, we'll see you out on the high seas.